Welcome back, Captains, to another Infinite Galaxy video. This is Dragothian here, and we've got some patch notes from yesterday that I wanted to go over because it really impacts the gameplay in Infinite Galaxy on an event-by-event basis. There's also some changes to some ships that are very popular into the game. We want to go into those, but really the main focus, in my opinion, is the gameplay for the events, because something we've said on this channel and something we've given feedback to the developers and certainly the community on this channel has expressed their concern with the fact that there's some events in the game that just cost a lot. Like it costs a lot to do the events because you've got to repair your ships, and that can be pretty pricey. So let's go through the patch notes from yesterday. I want to go through them individually one by one. We're going to grade them and give them a check or an X, and if it's a benefit to the game, obviously we're going to give it that check mark, and if it needs to be maybe be readdressed or augmented, we'll say that too. So first off, let's go with number one here. These are already in the game as well, guys, so this has already been done and changed in the game, so I'm looking forward to seeing what the differences are as we go through. But after the commander spaceport has been destroyed, so if you get hit by another player or whatever, right, you will get resources to help you recover from the Steam Alliance. And the Steam Alliance is basically like this unseen NPC alliance that basically sends you resources because they hate the Empire too, because the Empire is just the big baddies in this game, and they want you to continue to fight on. So they're going to give you some resources. Basically, it's just this little thing that helps you like recover from your devastating defeat of your spaceport and continue to go on to the game. So I like the RP behind it, but again, it's not really like crazy. I'm assuming it's not a ton of resources. I've not had my spaceport destroyed yet in this game. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, all that good stuff. But assuming it's something okay, not great, that's gonna put you over the top or something. But any little bit helps, right? Number two, greatly reduce the number of resources needed to repair your flagships. Anytime you can reduce the cost of resources to play this game, I am 100% for it, because resources are so hard to come by in this game, and there's so many resources needed for so many different things. There's always something to do in this game. You could literally just sit here and play the game nonstop and be doing something completely different from hour to hour. There's so many things that you can be doing in this game. So check mark on number two as well. Number three, reduce the ratio of ships needed repair produced in Starfield stages. Nice. AGN Gate. Okay. Imperial Fortress, all right, getting better. Secret Signal, okay. Deep Space Relics, all right, and other gameplay. So more fleets will only be converted to damage status. Fleets automatically recover after returning to the spaceport. So when you look at a battle report, okay, or let me just go over to Explore here. You can probably see it a little bit easier. So this is what a battle report looks like right now, and I think they're going to augment this just a little bit, so you can kind of see a little bit more. There's some stats and things like that. They did do an update on that. But there's different stages of repair. So when you're fighting something, if it says damaged, that means that they just aren't available in that fight anymore. But when you return to your spaceport, they come back. They're good to go. They're good as new. It's like they were never injured in the first place. Needs repair means that you've got to pay the repair shop in your spaceport to repair those ships, or else you will not be able to use them again. Okay, so that's where it comes in as a cost to you to fight, and usually you'll see that in PvP, but also in those other types of events that we just went over in the patch note. You can actually get those needs repairs inside of the PvE events, and some of these events are so difficult for this early a stage of the game that you can clean yourself out of resources just repairing after one event. So I really like this change. It's a very, very good change to the game. I don't know what the ratio is going to be here. It looked like it was almost 100% there based off of the wording on it, but needs repair hopefully will look more like this instead of what used to be. I've stopped doing Purity Protocol until this patch because I was racking up millions and millions and millions and millions of resources worth of repair cost for very little reward. You were getting 20,000, 30,000 reward resources as rewards, but spending millions to repair just didn't make any sense. So I stopped doing that event for quite some time just because it was the the cost benefit analysis was not there. Okay, and then also just to round out what this is supposed to look like, losses mean those are dead. Those are dead warships. They floated in space. Their pilot is dead, floating with an aimless look on his face, floating through space, no longer able to be used at all. You cannot repair that. He is dead. DED, dead. There is no way to get that lost warship back. But just to give you an idea of what that breakdown is, it's really, really good. So again, it says more fleets will only be converted to damage status. Now, I'm hoping, it says reduce the ratio, so I'm hoping it heavily goes to the damaged status and not the needs repair status. That's a big deal. So assuming it goes heavily towards the damage status, I'll give that a check mark. If nothing else, it's a positive step in the right direction. I'll get you some more feedback on what that status of the ratio is when we do Purity Protocol and Deep Space Relics and Secret Signal next. Okay, so commanders who join the Purity Protocol event will no longer produce ships needed repair. That's exactly what I was talking about. So they noticed that Purity Protocol was like the worst when it came to repair costs. So it looks like they actually have shifted it completely towards damaged, no damaged ships anymore. It's only damaged ships, not ships need repair. So very, very big change. I love this change. Commanders who join the Purity Protocol event will no longer produce ships needed repair. Perfect. I'll actually do the Purity Protocol event now because it's actually not cost negative to do that event. So we're going to definitely do that going forward on the channel and with the community. Certainly we helped out a little bit, but not as much as I would normally do an event all in. It just wasn't worth it. You had so much cost for ship repair. It was just not worth it. So in the Kill Space Pirates phase of the Galaxy Star event, you can also get event points by attacking Deep Space Relics. Okay, so for those advanced Nebulas that have figured out that there will likely be some form of a Nebula versus Nebula type of system in Infinite Galaxy here, this is good because Kill Space Pirates phase, you're talking about having just pirates, and those are pretty much unlimited spawn, but giving another extra bonus for Deep Space Relics is kind of nice, where you have a little extra, not just space pirates to do. Maybe there's some more. You definitely get more rewards from Deep Space Relics with the extra bonuses that you get from ranking rewards, so that's nice. Reduce the difficulty of collect individual reward points in Arcane Ghost Ship. Okay, that's nice. I mean, anything to reduce the difficulty on some of these events is very nice, because some of these events are like end game events, and even though we've completed the Imperial City a couple times and the Nebula is starting to shift into the next phase of growth, it's still really hard. I mean, it's still really hard events. Next one, adjusted the skill shield defense for the flagships Artemis and Orion. Remove the debuff effects of the reduced fleet range. Reduce the increased defense values at the same time. So this is a nerf and a buff. So first the buff, removing the debuff effect from the reduced fleet range. That's nice. That means that you'll attack at the same time your opponent will, unless they have an increased range bonus themselves. So that's nice. That helps you get in a little bit more damage. But reducing your defense value a little bit makes you a little less tanky. So something to think about. I will say with the Artemis, I don't really view him as a super tank, even though he had defense as the really focused point of choice there. The fact that it's a frigate warship really just, to me, made him not really a tanky defensive fleet leader, because he's made for speed, in my opinion, with the way that the warship's skills set up inside of that. So nerf and buff, I think it probably just evens itself out. Let's look at the next one, because this is something we just talked about, unlocking the Cyclops and how good the Brontus was. Adjusted the skill Last Resort, which we'll go into in just a second. I'll go pop over there and show you what that is. For the flagships Cyclops and Brontus, remove the debuff effect of the reduced fleet shield. Reduce the increased attack values at the same time. So again, and this was a big difference. This is a little bit of a nerf, in my opinion, and I'll tell you why. I was defeating level 8, what are they called? Tactical base. I'm trying to remember the exact term for it. Tactical training base. I was defeating level 8 tactical training bases with my Brontus, the way it currently sat, with full cruisers, and I would have maybe 500,000 or 600,000 warships left over in power. After the change, I was not able to complete it. With the same ship, same warships, same setup, same level, same rank, everything, same gear, was not able to complete it. So this was an overall nerf just from a testing point of view. I could see that the damage went down significantly and the tankiness certainly did not go up. So this is a nerf for Brontus and Cyclops. And honestly, again, I think based off of my last few videos on the Cyclops and the Brontus, probably warranted compared to the rest of the ships. I was basically turning down my advancement on all my other ships just to focus on the Cyclops and Brontus because they were so OP. And I think a little bit of that has to do with the cruiser functionality in the game more than the flagship, but nerfing the flagship did bring the value down a little bit on those ships. I still think they're very strong, and I will still be continuing to level them up, but maybe brought them a little bit more into the same realm as all the other flagships. So not too bad, okay? Not too bad. Don't freak out and start going after something else. Those are still really good flagships, okay? All right, let's go back over here. Next one is adjusted, and we'll go and look at Last Resort just to show you what I'm talking about. But adjusted the order of the spaceport skills, multiple star system probe, energy recovery, and fast hull sealing. The positions of the tech multiple star system probe has been moved ahead. Energy recovery and fast hull sealing have been correspondingly moved back. So they just rearranged the order in which you need to get these researches done inside of the research, the platform for research. So they just adjusted some the location of some of these talents inside of the tech that you can level up for your spaceport and all the other things in the game. I'll have to see what those look like and if that's a big change. I don't think it is. I think it really has to do with energy recovery and multiple star system probe. I think that has to do with exploration and things like that. Fast hull sealing is a repair type of deal, or a reduced need to repair on your ships or something like that. So I'll double check that for you guys and come back to you on that. Adjusted the properties of laser weapons. Ooh, okay. Adjusted the properties of laser weapons. Lowered the values for the shield against laser reduced damage effect. Slightly reduced the damage of laser weapons at the same time. So this is kind of a nerf to shields, really, if you think about it. So shield type gear, when it comes to your protection on your flagships, people mostly are going HP anyway. That seems to be the meta right now, is going HP heavy on your gear slots for all your flagships. But shields have a proficiency against laser damage. So what this is doing is basically lowering the reduction of damage to laser from shields in general, but also slightly reducing the damage of lasers at the same time. So probably against shields, lasers aren't really going to be that big of a deal difference wise from a damage perspective, but lasers taking a damage reduction to all types of defenses, that's a laser nerf. That's a laser nerf, which is going to go correlate heavily against Hades, Radamanthus, again, some of the other ships that I've been talking about wanting to level up inside of my account. So something to think about. They're starting to try and even out some of these different damage types. Kinetic obviously not having any pluses or minuses, and then missiles having bonuses against shields, but not having any, or having a reduced damage against armor. So something to think about there. The cost for the number of Alliance reserves to teleport Alliance outposts increases, along with the number of Alliance territories and teleport times. So this was something that I was curious about, because when we first started playing this game, it was so much cheaper to just move your territories, especially when we were talking about jumping from Zone 1 to Zone 2 to Zone 3. It was a lot cheaper. So it looks like they're going to increase the Alliance cost of moving those territories, the more territory that you have. This is probably trying to get a little bit more activity out of the mid-tier alliances to be able to kind of catch up to the bigger alliances, I'd imagine, and really kind of help grow the top of the Nebula player base. Expanded the ranks of treaty chests from 3 to 6 and improved the rewards of treaty chests. Yes. Okay, so we just did a video on the treaty chest for the hero version, which is level 1 or level 2, I guess. I guess it's level 2. Level 1 was the warrior class, and the warrior class was a little rough. It was just, you might as well not have even opened the chest. But the second one was pretty good, so maybe it'll improve even more. And I think that's a good thing, because I mean, when you're putting money into the game, that's usually what generates these treaty chests inside the Alliance. You should get a little something back for the whole Alliance to be able to enjoy. I think that's very beneficial for the game and very beneficial for the players in the game. Next one, redesign the pack UI. I do like the way the new pack design is. It's a little more on par with what you see in other games. It's not quite as slow or laggy, I would say. It's very smooth. It's more concise. You see what you're getting in one box instead of it being broken down by different chunks of things. It's nicer. I do like it. Optimize the UI display of the outfitting factory. Saw that too. That was very nice. Optimize the display info for some item icons. Okay, cool. So that's it. That's the patch notes, guys. I think overall, the biggest thing we need to take away from this patch note from yesterday is that the events are going to be easier. The events are going to be less expensive. Not easier, I should say. They're going to be less expensive to do, which again should bring you back into the fold on some of these events, like the Purity Protocol event, Light Secret Signal, and I mean Deep Space Relics not so much. That wasn't too bad, but AGN Gate and Starfield stages, those can get kind of pricey, but not too bad. Really, it was the Secret Signal and Purity Protocol events that really got me. That really got me on the recovering from those events when it comes to healing your warships in your repair center. So I'm glad that they've reduced the cost of these events so you can participate more and not necessarily have to worry about completely unloading all of your resources on the event for basically a tenth of what you spent. So I really like that. That's the main takeaway from this. Also, again, the changes to the Artemis and its epic cousin, the Orion, and also the Cyclops and its epic cousin, Brontus. Nerf / buff, and really, again, I think it's more nerf than buff on most of these things, but again, probably needed, especially in the case of the Cyclops and the Brontos, because they're just so strong. People running Cyclops and Brontos side by side are just it's a tank with massive damage. I mean, it's the best of all the worlds. You really don't tend to see anything that's against it out there, except unless it's a PvP centric ship like an Odysseus or something like that, which is very expensive to get up and running. So hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Hopefully I've explained some of the changes that have come to the game. I swear every week or two this game is improving and updating and listening to the player base. So really excited to continue these videos for you guys. And yeah, I mean, just this thing's just keeping on steaming along. We're doing great in Nebula 12 over here with our crew and community on this channel. And if you want to come join, please reach out to me. I'll get you in touch with our leadership and we'll get you all squared away. So with that being said, hope you're enjoying your day and I will see you guys next time. Cheers. Have a good one and take care.